Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. I'm going to drive around Norwich, Connecticut for a little while and try to get some foliage scenes because it's very overcast, and apparently the experts say that when it's very overcast, it's a good day to view foliage, the different colors. Now, apparently the foliage this year is not going to be that dramatic due to the drought conditions that we experienced this summer, part of spring. You know, it's been a little bit, we've gone through several long stretches of very, very dry conditions where it hasn't rained for, weeks. And then when it did rain, it was minimal. So I also have the camera mounted on the extreme right-hand side of the car. Now, whether that's going to make a difference or not, I don't know. I mean, I always try little experiments and things of this nature. I'm on West Town Street in Norwich, Connecticut right now. It's windy, it's very overcast, which is my preferred conditions for recording video. I have the camera on linear, so there should be no curvature of for example, the telephone poles you see to your right-hand side right now. There should be no curvature. It should be perfectly straight up and down. Also, I am testing this microphone, which I've had for a long time, and I love it. But the last time I went out, unbeknownst to me, the tip, I'm not going to get into the real nitty-gritty of the details of this microphone, but it has a very, very thin, the portion where the microphone sits is very tiny, and it's removable. You can do different attenuations with different decibel levels and all this complicated stuff. But that end of that microphone, for the first time ever since I've owned this thing, that's been a long time, it fell off. But it's kind of contained in this little foam cover, so you can't see that it fell off. So I didn't know that it fell off. So the sound, when I loaded the audio onto the editor, I use Reaper to edit the audio, and it was all these spikes and everything. It didn't look like conventional normal audio that people talking. I talk, and there was talking, but there was also spiking all over the place, which I had to individually remove each spike, and it kind of messed up some of my words and whatever. It is what it is. And also the sound quality was not as good because it didn't have that tip does, again, attenuate or whatever. It just alters the sound a little bit to make it maybe bassier or a fuller, richer, depending on what you want. I mean, different applications for different scenarios. Norwich Town Green to my right. So I'm going to try, again, foliage. It's just going to be a little bit, I just had an idea. I'm going to go up Mediterranean. Let me turn here. I'm going to go up Mediterranean for the foliage. And then that brings me up to, Scotland Road area, whatever. And there's a lot of potential up there for foliage. There's also potential for rain. If it starts raining, I've said this a million times on these rides, these drives, once it starts raining, this video will end instantly. I'll try to, pull over. Sometimes I can't. So, again, I don't want my camera to be destroyed. But this camera is mounted on the far right side, looking ahead. I'm looking out I'm going to go take a left on the Mediterranean lane. Looking straight most of the time, 99% of the time, I mount the camera dead center of the front portion of the hood. Dead center. It's beautiful on this road. This road is very narrow. It's very, really legendary houses, and some of the homes may have been built in the 1600s or extremely early 1700s. It's just, this is a good road to, if somebody's coming around the corner, though, it's so narrow that nobody's going to be able to. Okay, I got it made right now. I got a little clear spot ahead of me. But anyways, foliage, left, right, in front of us, whatever, hopefully. But the camera is mounted to the extreme right. If you notice a difference and you don't like it, let me know. If you like it. This is just experimental. I'm basically... October is a month where there's a couple of potential camera releases that I've been kind of looking at the rumor mill and whatever. Capri Drive on my right-hand side there as we drive slowly up Mediterranean Lane, the beautiful Mediterranean Lane, in the Norwich town section of Norwich. But, I've been... A lot of my future driving hinges on the potential release of a new version of this camera. This camera is kind of old. It does, in my opinion, beautiful video, but it does have some limitations that I am driving very slowly around this corner. It does have some limitations that there's nothing I can do about. So new technology has offered some options for me, let's put it that way, that I'll be able to use with these potential new releases this month. There's 2 competing companies. Hopefully the rumors pan out. A lot of times they do. There's insiders that... I'm on Whitman Avenue right now, the gorgeous Whitman Avenue. A lot of times these rumors pan out. People inside, tips, inside info, whatever. Sometimes it's leaked on purpose to stimulate excitement for the potential new camera that's about to drop. But anyways, if it does, I'm going to grab one of the 2, depending on... Let's see how the specs pan out, but some foliage, nice colors to the left. As we come to the end of Whitman Avenue, this is going to bring us out to Case Street. It's Halloween, it's the end of the month. A lot of people have pumpkins and different, yard decorations or whatever, for Halloween. All right, so this puts us on Case Street. If this was a normal year without the without the drought conditions, we would be probably looking at some jaw-dropping colors right now. But hey, this is what it is. We don't have a choice. We got to take it. But anyways, the camera that I hope comes out will have a 1-inch sensor. That's the rumor. That's huge. That gives me more dynamic range. And it's going to give me the ability to use neutral density filters, and it's going to open up a whole new world for me. So these drives, I'm not bragging, but I'm shooting 4K. To me, they look really good. I get the potential of having actually better looking videos in the future. I have it in my mind what I want to do, and I'll do it if the cameras, the rumors are true. And I will do it. Now, of course, YouTube is, they compress their... Wow, what a beautiful wall. I think that's a relatively new wall that was built there. That must have been one heck of a project to build that thing. Dry wall. But, okay, now I'm on Scotland Road. I'm now on Scotland Road. Let's take a ride. I mean, there's some, foliage opportunities up here. There's some dead ends. I'll drive down some of the streets. Deepwood Drive, beautiful street. Luxurious homes down here. I've been in a couple of them. And hopefully I'll hit some of this foliage friendly area and we'll get what we can get. That house right there. I've been in that house. I've been in the one with this, I don't know, stockade fence. I've been in there. The one to the right burned down. The one currently there is a newer home. Prior to that, it was a gorgeous house there, burned to the ground. No one was... Well, I can't say no one was killed. I'm not sure about that. I don't think so, but I'm not positive. So back onto Scotland Road to look at some of the trees. There's an election coming up. As you can see, there's signs everywhere. There's obviously some kind of work going on back there. Okay, what's this? Wallstone Lane. It's 2 p.m. right now on the nose. New England something. I don't know what those guys do, but there's an awful lot of big trucks around here, so there's something going on. Yeah, this is another dead end. Again, very nice homes, some modern and some very old, like the one right there in front of us. That gray home is, I think, built in the 1800s, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's this very large, I think, monastery or something used to be there, or I don't know exactly, to be honest with you, but it was something other than right now it's an apartment complex. And they have beautiful walls. I'm not going to drive in there because it's just not, it's a little tight. Okay, utility area. Utility work area. I don't know what the deal. Let me take a ride down Brownwood Lane. I've covered a lot of this before, but the reason I'm doing it now is because I'm very interested in the foliage situation. Is my microphone working properly? I'll find out instantly when I load the audio onto my computer. You just look at the sound, the waves. It shows you these, sound waves or whatever. By the way, that White House in the distance right there is for sale right now. $4.5 million. It's brand new. You know something? I'm going to just stop here for once. Let me pull up a little bit. I'm going to stop here for 1 second. Something is driving me out of my mind. It's a rattling situation with these different bottles of, I think it's hand sanitizer or something, whatever it is. I'm going to just shove this in there to get rid of that rattling. I don't want too much, the minimal amount of rattling in these videos is preferable. Let's see if that Yep, problem solved. All right, so that's Brownwood Lane. Let's go up. I gotta be careful crossing. Sometimes people fly down this thing. Okay, this is Bailey Heights, another beautiful road. Scotland Road is, one of the more prestigious or prominent roads in Norwich, Connecticut, as far as beautiful homes, interesting architecture, residential architecture. And there's a lot of these side streets, dead ends or cul-de-sac, I'm not sure the proper term, but for example, the house right there, that's a kind of a cool modern design, very nice home, but they're all over the place around Scotland Road. The home to my left, you probably couldn't see it that good. It's got a wood roof. It's a stone home, not brick, but it's made of stone. The house on the right, I was in there one time. It's an incredible home. It's a mid-century modern. I'm not sure when it was built, but it's a unique, one-of-a-kind, they hired an architect and picked out exactly the design, the layout, and everything. It's incredible. All right, let's get back onto Scotland Road. Off of Bailey Heights onto Scotland Road. Some of the trees have shed quite a few of their leaves already. But at least I am in areas where the potential, let me get on this road, the potential for foliage is there. DuPont, this is DuPont Circle, DuPont Lane right now. And then I'm going to take a left onto, I believe it's Greenwich Court, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at my sign. Yeah, Greenwich Court. This is not that old of a, I don't know if I wouldn't call it a development, an area of really beautiful houses. Again, dead end. But, as you can see right there, very nice homes. And right there, that white home, there's some nice color in the trees there. And to the right, the overcast skies make the ability to view foliage easier and better. The palette of colors shows up better because the light is even. There isn't direct, harsh, glaring sunlight on it. There's just soft, diffuse light that falls on the leaves, evenly lighting them across the board, like the trees directly ahead of us would be better without the drop, but they're pretty nice. Wow, there's actually a brand new home to my left that wasn't here. They must have built it this year. Okay, back onto Scotland Road, covering more territory. I think there's another really nice road up here. Gulliver Circle, I believe, if I'm not. Yeah, there it is. Again, this area, probably one of the nicer areas in Norwich. Gulliver Circle. In the whole town of Norwich, in my opinion. It's quiet, it's close to everything, it's convenient. I mean, it's pretty much got everything you want. I mean, they do have wells up here. I mean, I kind of like city water personally. Only because you don't have to worry about ever running out of water. So there are wells up here. Beautiful white birch tree to the right-hand side there. There's just really nice houses up here. And again, dead end. So we'll turn around. And we'll head back to Scotland Road. And we'll cruise very slowly down this road here. This Gulliver Circle. With the camera mounted to the extreme right-hand side. I'm looking straight out. Normally I do it in the middle. This is to the extreme right of the hood pointing straight. Does it make a difference? It might not. The lens is wide, so it might not. Another new home to the right there. One of the nicer houses in Norwich is to the right. You can't really see it. It's kind of surrounded, but boy. It was probably built in the 40s or 50s, I'm guessing, but absolutely stunning design, construction, the whole 9 yards. Beautiful foliage shot right ahead. All right, this puts me back on a Scotland Road. I guess I could Reservoir Road. I'm not sure about. Let's take a cruise up. Yeah, another dead end, but that's okay. I can turn around. There's a decent sized turnaround up there. All right, I see a for sale sign. So I'm doing everything I can humanly possibly do to crank up the possibility of foliage view. Wow. There's some real estate for sale to the left. It could be land. I'm not sure about that. But there's some real nice houses on this road too. I mean, some of them have very steep driveways. That does worry me a little bit in the winter. You know, I mean, it's just. You know, just a real long, steep driveway in the winter can be obviously, difficult to drive up if it snowed prior to you getting home or whatever the case may be. Walking down to get your mail. Okay, I think this is Fairview Reservoir. I'm not sure. Let me see if there's a sign here. There's obviously fenced in heavily. I mean, they don't want anybody. People used to walk dogs and stuff around here. They don't want anybody messing around. Public water supply. No trespassing, big time, stay out, cameras and all this type of thing. So, okay, so Reservoir Road, heading back in the other direction. Some cool looking foliage at 2:11 p.m. in Norwich, Connecticut right now. It's as good as we're going to get. I don't know if peak foliage, that's a tricky situation. It could be peak foliage one day and closer to, let's say, the north a little bit. Maybe if you went up to, I don't know, northern part of Connecticut, Thompson or something, whatever, way up there. As opposed to Groton, southern part of Connecticut. They're going to have different days that, things peak out with regards to the foliage situation. back on to Scotland Road. In the back of my mind, I am just trying to keep the foliage situation as priority number one. I mean, this is part autumn drive, and the colors, like right around here, very nice colors. And it's also part testing out this microphone again. I mean, this is like if it messes up on me this time, last time it took me quite a while to repair things. It was very tedious. Also, the camera mounted on the extreme right-hand side of the car. It's pointing straight ahead, but as I go by that telephone pole, that might have appeared to be closer. Sometimes it's hard to tell with a wide-angle lens. I'm on Scotland Road right now. It's ending, and I'm going to take a left onto East Town Street very briefly. And then it's going to go morph into Ox Hill Road. I'm going to go up Ox Hill. I'm just, again, wow, I wonder if the school buses are, if the schools are getting out now, things could get a little dicey up here. All right, Coit Lane. That's a nice little, it's a one-way street. Like that house right there is incredible, right there. But, another beautiful street. Norwich has a lot of really nice houses. So there we go. Some real nice coloration up there. I'm glad this is a one-way street because it's narrow. Like right here, forget about it. If there was a vehicle coming the other way by mistake. Now see, this is a real nice New England-y sequence right here. Right here. That, kind of canopy of beautiful branches and the colors and everything. Let's see, I could go up Harlan Road. There's a nice house right there. That's an incredible home that was in the movie Everybody Wins. Use that. All right, so this is going to put me out. I'm on Lathrop Lane. I am going to, let's see here. I'm going to go up Harlan Road. Takes a little while to get out of here sometimes. Harlan can be very busy, but I think I have an opening, so let's roll. Okay. So we're officially on Harlan Road. I got Mohegan Park. When it comes to foliage, that can be interesting. I mean, there's a lot. One thing with Mohegan Park is a lot of pine trees up there. And that's not going to help our, different colors and beautiful, oranges, yellows, whatever. But let's take a quick cruise through. We're on Ox Hill Road right now. Norwich Regional Technical School is to my right. All right, so let's see what kind of autumn colors we have right here as we enter the Mohegan Park area from, I mean, I'm heading east right now. All right, they get a speed limit of 15 miles per hour right here. So that tells me slow down a little bit. There's a beautiful home to the left. That's another one of these one-of-a-kind, you know, designed by an architect that the original owners must have hired. And it's haven't been in it. I've seen photographs. It's quite beautiful. It's 61 degrees out, by the way. There's some colors right up above on the left. I mean, some different, you know, things are changing. Okay, so this is a real nice area right here. Mohegan Park is, you know, I've said it a million times. I got tons of videos about Mohegan Park on this channel. It's a gemstone. It's absolutely one of the most beautiful parks anywhere. Let me slip out here. It's a diamond. Mohegan Park is a diamond. There's Spalding Pond. You can go swimming, fishing, picnicking. There's recreational activities for kids, families. You can take beautiful walks around Spalding Pond. They have a paved walking path around the entire thing. They have exercise equipment that people can use for free. A lot of the ferns. Okay, there's some to the right. Beautiful colors. Yellow, orangish, you know. Spalding Pond directly in, well, not about directly in front of us, to the left. You can see there. To my left. Probably right in front of you, slightly to the left. And there's some gentlemen down there fishing right now. They have fountains out in the pond. I think they have 3 or 4, 1, 2, 3 fountains out there. Guys, if you haven't been to this Mohegan Park, I don't care where you're from, at some point, that's a bucket list situation, okay? You got to get down here. Nice tree on the left. I'm cruising real slow. There's nobody behind me. I'm just trying to absorb as much as I can here. But if you're interested in Mohegan Park, on this channel right here, my channel, YouTube, I got tons of videos. I love this stretch right here. There's a lot of pines, but okay, there is other trees kind of, you know, dispersed here and there. So this is a particularly beautiful area. Much better, you know, if you were here live. I'm going to get back on this road. This is called Wilderness Road, by the way. I'm just going to turn around in the parking lot down here above the soccer field and quarter-mile track, and I'm going to head back through Mohegan Park to grab some more of that foliage. But let's just get a quick look over here. Yeah, right in front of us is a soccer field. And like I said, quarter-mile track. That's going to be replaced as a massive investment that's going to be made. It's going to be artificial turf, new track, new drainage. I guess they have some drainage problems. It's going to connect directly with the senior center, so people can go to the senior center, park there, and walk easily. They don't have to, you know, go down the road or any inconvenient paths or anything. It's going to be tailor-made to go from point A to point B. Whatever, it's going to be great. It's just another, you know, Norwich has been doing a lot of stuff lately. Okay, look at the trees right in front of us, right there. Now see there, is that peak? Is that, it's visually pleasing to the eye. I'm here live. A camera's never going to do it justice, let's be honest. But if you don't live around here and you can't be here right now driving around like I am, then we have the technology to deliver the goods, which I'm doing right now. Again, speed limit 15 miles per hour. I'm actually doing 20. I mean, it's kind of hard. Doing 15 takes some concentration. Let's see if I can get this thing down to 15. Okay. I'm going to get this thing down to 15 miles per hour. There's that walking path. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm at 15 right now. You're riding the brakes. It's a full-on, pump the brakes situation. Nice tree to my right. They're all over the place. Mohegan Park. I'm glad I came here. I'll go through every conceivable road up here. I can't take a right. That road is closed, I believe. And I think that's not part of Mohegan. Well, it might be part, but I think it's a private residence up there, if I'm not mistaken. Private homes, maybe one or two. Okay, we're entering the parking lot. This is one of the main parking lots. There's another one on the other side. There's parking all around this thing. That's another thing you don't have to worry about is parking. So there's the parking lot directly in front of us right there. You would park there, get out, walk. Another thing is a beautiful fountain. When I say beautiful, I mean really majestic. I mean, it's worth, if you got little kids or something, they'll really get a kick out of it. There's a lot to Mohegan Park that I'm not even, I'm not mentioning. Again, comprehensive coverage. Check out my channel if you're into it. It's all over the place. Some of the videos are a few years old and some are very new. I did several this year. Straight ahead, there's a walking path that would bring you right through those beautiful, yellowish orange color trees, the leaves. Right now would be the time to get down here. We've been lucky. We haven't had a drop of rain yet. Okay, let's cover some more Mohegan Park. I'm going to pull over. There's some guy behind me that I want to take my time here. And there's another person. I'm going to let him go because I want to chill out. I don't like... Okay, he's turning another way, so okay, I'm all set. I don't like people right on my bumper. I'm on a road that's, 15 miles per hour, and these guys want to do, 40. This is not the place. This is not the place to do any speeding. This is a place to slowly cruise around. And this particular curve, wow, they widened this a little bit. That's extremely helpful. All right, this has always been a rough curve, but they widened it. I like that a lot. This is Mohegan Park Road. Taking a right onto Judd Road. A lot of pines to the left. Very tall pine trees. There's going to be an enormous water tank to our right. Don't know if you can see it in the frame right there. It's to the extreme right. You know what I'll do? I'll turn around in the parking lot and get you a look at the water tank. Does it matter? Yeah. It does. There's water in there. I think. And, whoa, I gotta back up. Let's take a look at that tank right there. To the left of that water tank is a basketball court. A fully functional, well-kept basketball court. Again, part of Macon Park. There's stuff everywhere around here. When we get down the hill, wow, look at this beautiful yellow leaves up there. I hope this is grabbing it. Down the hill to the right is the Rose Garden. The legendary Rose Garden, Norwich, Connecticut. Let me pull in there for a second. That Rose Garden, when it's, obviously this is off season for roses, but when that thing is firing on all cylinders, it is a sight to behold. It is probably nationally known. There's roses in there that are one of a kind. There's a lot of weddings down here. I highly recommend it. I highly, highly recommend it. A lot of people that live in Norwich, I'll be honest with you, they take the Rose Garden for granted. They lived here, let's say you're 70 years old and you live in Norwich and you haven't seen the Rose Garden since you were a kid. That's not an uncommon situation. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying, if you haven't seen it in a while, it's definitely worth your time. I'm on Rockwell Street very briefly. I'm going to take a right onto Orchard. This Rockwell just blends, this turn blends right into Orchard Street. Now I'm going to be running out of foliage friendly material here pretty soon. There's a view right there to the right. In the winter I'll come up. You can see the entire city. We're way above the city. It is a spectacular view, probably one of the best views in Norwich, but not when there's leaves on the trees. For the driver, for somebody walking or driving down the road. Wow, Vine Street. I don't think I've ever been up Vine. It's a one-way street, so I'm not going to, I think. So Orchard is going to put me out onto... I'm trying to think here. What can I do? All right, let me go left. I'm going to work my way over to some more foliage. Hickory Street. I once did a video of Hickory Street. If you ever lived on Hickory Street, I once did a video where I walked the entire length of Hickory Street up and back. I didn't record the whole walk in real time. I just did clips. So if you're interested in Hickory Street, that is available on that list of videos I have up there on my YouTube channel. All right, I'm taking a left onto Boswell Avenue. They did a lot of road work up here on Boswell Avenue. Now, I'm assuming it's natural gas lines that they put in. I don't know that for certain, but I believe that to be the case. All right, let's get on Pratt. Look out for this kid here crossing the street. So this is Pratt Street. I always liked Pratt. A lot of very nice homes on Pratt Street. But this is pulling me back towards the Macon Park area again. It's 2:32 p.m. This, I'm going full bore into the foliage. situation. Okay, this, let me see if there's some dead ends up here, but there could be some opportunities. I think, yeah, there's a left. Okay, it's a dead end. Jennings Street. Let's take a left down Jennings. Hopefully it won't be too difficult to turn around. Some of the streets are a little trickier. Years ago, the house on the right, now it is light gray. I looked at that one. When I say years ago, I'm talking 40 plus, 45 years ago. It was for sale, but it needed too much work at the time. It had tremendous potential, but I was kind of looking for something that I could, just move into, and that's the end of it, not have to worry about a lot of... Okay, now, I'm thinking foliage and everything, but is this... This gets real narrow. I hope I'm not driving into somebody's personal driveway or anything. This looks like a private residence. Yeah, I gotta back out of here. Let's see if I can pull this off. It's very steep behind me. Hopefully I can squeeze my way out of here. Some of these turnarounds are easier. This is probably a very old road that, some of the more modern ones, they put a large section at the end of the road that you can easily just turn right around, as I demonstrated earlier. I mean, I'm stating the obvious here, but if somebody's watching this overseas in a different country, and, me pointing out these little things could be helpful to them, not being familiar with the way that certain roads are designed in the United States and New England or, whatever, Connecticut. All right, so we went down Jennings Street. There's more up ahead here. I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, see what we can get. All right, so left is Pratt. We came off Pratt. All right, Orton Street, no outlet. Don't know if I'm going to run into the same situation I did earlier. Okay, this might have an easier turnaround. Wow, there's actually something called Helen Street up here. I'm not familiar with Helen Street. It turns into kind of a dirt road, so I'm going to back out of here. And it kind of ends right there, so there's nowhere to go, but this is an easier turnaround for me. Very tiny road, Helen Street. Interesting. I didn't know. The first time I've ever been down there, as far as I know, or seen Helen Street. But this is off, Helen Street's off Orton Street. And to the right we have Curtis Street. Hopefully it'll be a situation where it won't be difficult to turn around. Okay, this is a much wider street. So I'm going to assume this is a little bit more modern construction. Yeah, there's a turnaround down here that's tailor-made for modern cars. But there's some, beautiful colors in the trees. $237. I'm going to start heading back, and I'll try to keep in mind what other areas I can hit on my way back with potential beautiful colors, fall colors. And it's getting a little brighter at the moment. So I don't want, I do not want a blue sky. I want it to be completely overcast. I mean, it's out of my control, but okay, let's head back up into the Mohegan Park area. We haven't covered this road directly ahead of us here. The big sign right there to the right. Welcome to Mohegan Park, City of Norwich, Connecticut. And to the right, there's a, I don't know what it's called, Lower Pond or whatever. To the right, let me see, Lower Pond lot. So it's called Lower Pond. I'm not going to pull in there. It's very uneven, and I don't want to mess up my car. If I had a different vehicle, I would do it without hesitation. Wow, the sun is actually coming out a little bit. So straight ahead, beautiful colors. I'm going to work my way back through. We'll get a different angle. I was on this road earlier, but we're getting it from the opposite angle. And hopefully the sun does not come out. I know that sounds crazy, but, or if it does, have it be somewhat muted. Yeah, it seems to be brightening quite a bit up there. Somebody going out for a walk. This is a road that I've walked on, but it is dangerous in a way because there are no sidewalks. There shouldn't be. We're out in the wilderness here. And it's a little narrow, so I mean, you definitely got to pay attention. If you put, earphones on, you can't hear anything coming from behind you. It's kind of a problem. I don't know if it's not the safest situation in the world. Okay, I love this stretch of road. That was Mohegan Park Road. I just love this. This is Wilderness Road. I love this stretch of road right here. Very curvy, S-shaped, with beautiful colors, fall colors right now. Right directly in front of us. Beautiful colors. Hopefully it's translating that way on video. You're never going to replace being here in person. That's just obviously impossible. But, this is the next best thing. They have a disc golf course up here at Mohegan Park. I mean, again, I left a lot of stuff. If you want to see the disc golf course at Mohegan Park, I have it on my YouTube channel. I walked the whole thing. It's incredible. It's a beautiful course. Take a left onto Mahan Drive. Whoa, school buses lining up down there. I don't want to get caught behind a whole bunch of school buses, that's for sure. And here's the relatively new parking lot. It's been here about a year. They put in, I've pointed this out before, but I'll show it again. They put in men's room and a woman's room right there. That was not there prior to this year. A great addition. There are tennis courts directly in front of us, brand new. There used to be clay courts there. They've been replaced with conventional. Extremely popular. I believe NFA plays there. And directly in front of us, rec field, or, Dickenman Field. The Wildcats, the NFA Wildcats play there. There's basketball courts up there to the left. That's Robert W. Spain. Let me drive right up there, because there's some cool foliage behind that basketball court. Right there, straight ahead up there is 1, 2, 3 full-size basketball courts that are absolutely phenomenal. Robert W. Spain basketball courts. Directly in front of us, Norwich Free Academy Wildcats. State double-L champions, 1960, 1961, 2003. Dickenman Field, City of Norwich. Kind of a legendary place right there. Legendary building, that stone building. Everybody loves that thing. All right, I'm going to drive down, grab a little bit more footage as I work my way back to the Norwich town area. Now, there's a lot of debris in the road right here. We had a rainstorm for a couple of days with, at times, high winds. Speed limit 15. This is another snaky road right here. Anybody that drives fast on this road is straight up out of their mind, because it's, I mean, you got a death wish if you do that. But yeah, a lot of debris on the road due to the high winds that we had. It wasn't anything off the charts, but it was, you know, the gusts did some damage here and there. There were a certain amount of power outages across the state of Connecticut. Could have been much worse. This is Mohegan Road, that wall right there. So I got my camera mounted to the right of the vehicle. That's not far from the wall, so I wonder what that effect is going to be like. If everything goes well, it'll be quite interesting. Now they expanded, as I turn right here, you see that directly in front of you? It's a darker asphalt. They bore into the granite wall there, or stone, boulders and ledge and whatever is, you know, enmeshed over there. And they widen that particular area. Boy, this is brutal. So NFA must be getting out. Wow. I need a good Samaritan to let me go. I'm going to be in a little bit of traffic. Is anybody going to let me go? Thank you very much. A lot of nice people. See, Norwich. Real nice people. Whoa. Police car threading the needle. Catch that on video. Everybody pulls over. He's having I mean, this is a difficult time right now with NFA getting out of school. There's a lot of traffic. I'm basically going to work my way back to, you know, let me get on Contrabando Avenue, and I'll work my way back. I started in the Plain Hill Road area, and I'll end the video there. It's 2:46 p.m. right now. So let me grab my last foliage opportunity as I work my way to Contrabando Avenue. It could take a little while to get there due to the traffic. Well, it seems like it cleared up straight ahead, so that's good. As it brightens up a little bit, so the sun is trying to sneak out of the overcast. I'm on Washington Street, by the way. The sun is, it's not, you know, let me look up. Yeah, it's, I mean, you can tell. I mean, the camera compensates for exposure, so you might not be able to tell that much, but it's definitely brighter than it was earlier. And hopefully this audio that I'm recording right now, you know, me speaking, comes out without any problems. I think I attached the microphone correctly and everything. And again, I've never had this problem before. I think when I close the case that the microphone is kept in, it touched up against the tip of the microphone, the very end, and obviously became detached. So if you're listening to this thing right now as I cross over the Annick River on this bridge, and it sounds the way it should sound, all is well. I love those beautiful overcast clouds right there. See, now there was real bright back there, now it's not bright. I'm heading straight onto Otterbando Avenue. Goran's Furniture and Mattresses, legendary Norwich furniture store to my right hand side. You can probably see the sign. And I'm gonna slow roll myself, if I can, up Otterbando Avenue. Like, past that Goran sign, to me, the naked eye, there's a beautiful big tree that's on the cusp of, I would say, right on the cusp of peak fall color. You know, orange, yellowish orange. As we wait for this red light to turn green. New London Turnpike, the cars going from left to right are driving down New London Turnpike. And they kind of, that's a priority road, so this light can be a little bit long. All right, the folks across the way are getting the go-ahead first. That's fine. Good. We don't mind taking a breather. All right, this is going to put me onto Otterbando Avenue right now. And let's absorb some of the foliage. Beautiful tree to the right. That happens to be a birch tree. And I'm going to slowly go until this person behind me catches up, and I'm going to have to speed up a little bit because I'm driving pretty doggone slow right now. The only time I do videos this time of year is when it is extremely overcast. I'm talking about driving videos. When it is extremely overcast, as it was today. Now, I got double lucky. 1, very overcast, perfect. 2, threat of rain, but it didn't rain. Best of both worlds, I got it made. So if there's no technical difficulties, beautiful tree to the left. If there's no technical difficulties with this video recording and the audio is okay, I think I'm going to be pretty happy with this thing. I'm turning onto the grounds of the Little League. I'm not going to drive all around it. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just do a circle. I played, I don't know what it was, Little League. Was it the farm system, or they had different names? Little League, Big League, whatever. There's multiple baseball fields up here. That field right there. That field directly in front of us. Again, I'm going back to the 70s. Those guys were older, I believe. I don't know if I ever played in that field. Right here, I played in this field a lot. Joe Romanski, legendary manager. I mean, he's I don't know, that could be, there's a field or something back there dedicated to Joe Romanski. One of probably the greatest Little League coach in Norwich history. He's up, I can't say that. I don't want to insult anybody else. At the time that I was playing baseball, Joe Romanski was the ultimate Little League coach. Right in front of us is a completely rehabilitated top to bottom. If you haven't seen it in the past year or two, Norwich Veterinary Hospital. It is state of the art. It is all brand new. New parking, new building, new additions, new roof, new interior. It's just phenomenal. All right, I'm going to keep going down Atrabando. Atrabando or Bondo? I say Atrabando. I have my whole life, so I'm sticking with that. To grab more foliage. Agway used to be down here on the right, and then it was Hyde's Home and Farm products and things, but now it's closed. I'm going to actually, there's some guy right on my tail. I mean, this is absurd. Private property, no trespassing. I'm actually going to take a, I mean, that guy is speeding. He just went by me. It's absolutely pedal to the metal on Atrabando Avenue. No offense, but that is absolutely bonkers to do that on Atrabando Avenue. I'm going to take a ride down here. It could be blocked off, but just to get a look at it for folks. Yeah, it's blocked completely. It's fenced off. But anyways, that's, you know, Agway. Right there. Closed. Hyde Park or Hyde. Let me take a look. I say Hyde Park. Let me see the name of that thing. I think it was. I got to turn around. Let me read. Hyde's Home and Farm. There's also storage units down there. But Hyde's gave it a try and it didn't work. I think they were there a couple of years, 2-3 years, and now they're obviously out of business. So that's kind of a shame. I think Home Depot, Lowe's, you know, the giant, you know, conglomerates put it out of business. It's tough to. And online too. These guys, you know, they sold pet food. Huge. That was a huge part of their business, was pet food, supplies. Everybody now orders that online. It's delivered directly to your door. Chewy is one of the top companies that you order something, next day it's on your doorstep. I mean, it's kind of hard to compete with that. There's a dead skunk in the middle of the road back there. There's a song, Loudon Wainwright. Look it up on YouTube or Spotify. It's called Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road. I'm not kidding. It's a good song. So Atrabando Avenue is going to come to an end at this red light up ahead. We're absorbing fall, autumn foliage colors here. But I'm going to get back onto West Town Street, go up a little bit on Plain Hill Road, and that'll be over. It'll be no more video. Covered a lot of territory. Got the camera mounted on the right-hand side of my hood. Testing out the microphone after malfunction problems. Driving around, looking at foliage all over Norwich. Going over the Yannick River right now. A lot of traffic on West Town Street on the oncoming lane here. I don't know why. Maybe NFA. Probably got out of school. It's got to be NFA. As I slowly cruise down West Town Street, I work my way back to let me turn onto Ferguson Avenue, then I'll get over onto Plain Hill Road. You know why? The folks coming off of Plain Hill right now, if I turn in there, it's going to make them wait that much longer, and that's a tough spot to get out of. Also, we can look at this historic home directly in front of us, which is beautiful. It's been restored within the last couple of years. There's Bean Hill Green. I have a full video to my right. There's a very historic green there. Full video of that. Guys, if it's in Norwich and I don't have a video of it, then tell me. Tom, go do a video of this thing in Norwich, and I'll go do it. I've covered every conceivable road and landmark and everything in between. But if I did miss something, guys, hit me with it. I'll cover you. Look at that foliage directly ahead right there. Oof. Worth the price of admission right there. I think I started the video somewhere around here, maybe a little higher, somewhere around here. So, this video is over.